all aircraft. Hazardous weather information for Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, and coastal waters is available on HIWAS, Flight Watch, or Flight Service frequencies. Advise on initial contact. You have information Kilo. Wright Army Airfield, information Kilo, weather at 1856 Zulu, automated observation, wind 160 at 7, visibility 10, few clouds at 3,600, few clouds at 6,000, 5000 scattered, ceiling 19,000 broken, temperature 32, dew point 24, altimeter 29er, lightning in the distance, southeast, pressure altitude -18, density altitude +2307, runway 24 right in use. Expect visual approach, runway 24 right. Restricted area 3005 Alpha through Echo active. Copies, unserviceable, runway 6 left. Runway 33 right and 15 left closed. Taxiway Bravo closed from east ramp to approach end.
Alright, information Kilo. Altimeter is at 29er. Alpha Mau. There's quarter lean.
Okay.
Putting on you.
And what was the information?
Information Kilo.
Kilo. Right, ground Skyhawk A305 Bravo is on the ramp with Kilo, ready for taxi, requesting close traffic 24 right.
A305 Bravo, runway 24 right, taxi via Bravo Alpha, contact tower holding short.
Calling on tower short 24 right, 05 Bravo.
Okie dokie.
On the Alpha Echo, good day, for exchange pool, good day.
They have the other runway NOTAM'd as closed until September.
Oh, correct.
So, yeah, I was surprised to see that.
Is that so they can do all this work down here on this end?
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, that seems a bit ridiculous. This is early June. I don't know why in the world it would take that long. And it seems like they could get the stuff done down there at that end of the runway first, so that they could get it opened back up and then work on the stuff down here towards this end. But what do I know?
so. I've got a little bit of your more appreciation for what you go through on a daily basis. I've been teaching Case to drive.
That's worse. You don't have any controls. It's way worse.
You have no idea. I mean, you know, to be 16 again and know everything.
Yeah.
You know, I told him the other day, I was like, dude, you know, how long have you been licensed? And he's like, well, I'm not. I'm working on it. I was like, then why are you arguing with me when I'm giving you directions? And the wife was in the back seat. I was like, he's real close to just, you know, we'll wait till next year. And at that point, he shut up. He's like, oh.
Shit just got real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'll say this. Usually it's our parents that teach us how to drive. That's really not a good formula. You know, it's just that's how it works out. But my goodness, that's probably not the best formula for success.
Yeah, I mean, you're just not working. So, brakes are.
It's like I know plenty of guys and gals that are flight instructors, and their spouse wants to learn how to fly, and they send them to another instructor.
Nope,
because they know it's just not going to work.
I am not sleeping on the couch. There's 1700. Green, we're making amps. We got suction. And mag check. 75 drop. Or if you come back in and coming all the way back to idle. And well idle. Back up to 1,000. Alright. So we're trim set. Not that this will matter in the bit, but we'll get it close. So, all that approximately there. Alright, ready when you are, boss. Go ahead and start easing up here.
Tower Skyhawk 05 Bravo is ready, 24 right at Alpha.
05 Bravo, rolling 24 right, close track approved, wind 1606, clear for takeoff, report right base.
Okay, understand right close traffic, we'll call the right base for 24 right, 05 Bravo.
05 Bravo, man, that left close traffic approved.
I thought maybe that's what you meant, left close traffic for 24 right, 05 Bravo.
33.
Alright.
Yeah, see the elevated X down there on 15?
Yep.
You can just make the turn right here, it's fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm... Throttle to full ridge, we are at 2-4.
Yep, there you are.
Door war's closed. And flaps down, here we go.
So the wind is going to be from our left today. We'll keep that in mind through everything. Still holding that right rudder in there though, of course.
Oh yeah, this is fun.
Remember, once we're off the ground, just ailerons to keep the center line, right rudder as needed to keep the ball between the lines, and the airplane's going to crab itself. And we don't have any restrictions or anything special to do on this runway, so crosswind turn 500 feet. Base turn at your discretion.
And there's 500 coming left. Coming left. And there's 1,000. 100. Hold the nose.
So we're a little slow because nose comes down first, speed builds second, throttle comes back third. And we do have that wind pushing us that way, so we're probably going to have to push the nose, grab the nose into the wind on the downwind, otherwise we're going to get closer and closer, and we're going to have an incredibly short base leg, which will probably jack up our final approach. So crabbing into the wind on downwind as needed to track parallel to the runway. And we'll probably plan on landing with 20 degrees of flap instead of 30.
Alright, car beat coming on. 100, pitching for 80. First notch. And come left.
Tower 05 Bravo, left base, 24 right.
5 Bravo, check Wolves down, wind 1606, rolling 24 right, clear for the option.
Clear the option, 24 right, 05 Bravo.
Oh yeah, nice airspeed.
Yep, so throttle back to idle.
Yeah. Are way high.
And anticipate that turn on to final a little bit sooner than normal because we got a pretty substantial push.
Yep. Way out of line.
And if you do get a little bit off, remember, aim for the extended center line. Don't aim for the center of the beginning of the runway. That way it gives you more time to react and kind of get a feel for exactly how much crosswind we might have as we come down into the flare. We're not doing anything different as far as the flare is concerned, so just keep doing what you were doing on the last flight. The difference is, if the airplane's being pushed off the runway, ailerons will control that. Rudder keeps the nose pointed down the runway, just like it always does. So we're starting our flare here. We're going to use some left aileron and some right rudder. So as we're in the flare, putting in some left aileron, putting in some right rudder, and
that was rough.
we go. So we can hold a little bit of left aileron as we roll here. Right rudder as needed. So because we came into the flare with a lot of extra speed, that's why we floated and ballooned up. We will have a little bit of extra speed, all things being equal, from using 20 degrees of flap instead of 30. So that is something else to manage.
05 Bravo, report left base.
I'll call the left base, 05 Bravo.
Now, why all of a sudden did it decide that it just didn't want to climb there for a second? She just really...
We're a little fast. You know, we're supposed to be climbing at 70. We're going 85, so yeah. And we're heavy, and it is freaking hot. So our performance is not nearly what it's going to be. And then we got updrafts and downdrafts. So it's going to vary quite a bit. Generally speaking, we're overbanking our turns, and you're letting your nose come down. So the climbs are stopped when we start going 90 miles an hour. Airplane's doing exactly what you're telling it to do. So minimize those bank angles and keep that nose up. That's a little bit aggressive on the bank, and as a result, the nose has dropped. So keep that nose up, and just a little bit of aileron will bring that sucker right around, especially in the left-hand turns. Remember, when we get to 1,000, nose comes down first, speeds start building, and then throttle comes back to 2,200. And we're pointing over there, which is probably exactly what we need to do, because we have just about a 90-degree crosswind. But you keep an eyeball on the runway and you determine exactly where to point that nose. It certainly won't be parallel to the runway, though.
Now I can feel the wind pushing the butt around.
The slower we fly, the more susceptible we are to the crosswind. So as we start to slow the airplane down, the direction where you're pointing the nose might change a little bit.
All right, car B coming in, and back to 1,500. Pitching for 80. Left.
Tires 05 Bravo, left base, 24 right.
05 Bravo, check was down, 24 right, clear for the option.
Clear for the option, 24 right, 05 Bravo.
There's first notch.
Okay, we can get that second notch coming in, that way we're done, and we can focus on putting the airplane where it needs to be and trying to stabilize that speed. Anticipating that turn on to final. So starting that turn.
There we go. Throttle.
Okay, so let's close the throttle, runway's made. Your nose won't be quite as far down as it is with 30 degrees of flap. We got less drag out there, so we don't have to put the nose as far down. We also don't have to crab as much because we don't have as much flap hanging down.
Little high.
It's all right. So starting to use that left aileron and right rudder, otherwise we're going to touch down sideways.
Yeah.
So we got to do that, and we got to do that. And we're touching down on one wheel, and we're moving those ailerons more and more into the wind and holding them into the wind as we roll. So we just add one more element into the equation with the crosswind touchdowns. And we're holding that aileron into the wind as we roll. So we're keeping that left aileron deflected as we start our go here.
Okay.
Because that's going to help the airplane keep over the center line as we lift off. So remember, ailerons control drift, rudder straightens out the nose. So as we're into the flare, the nose isn't pointing down the runway. We gotta press the appropriate foot to point it down the runway. When you do that, the airplane's gonna start moving in that direction. We'll use opposite ailerons to stop that drift. So we can't just use one. It's ailerons and rudder, always in opposite directions. Ailerons put the airplane where you need it to be, just like they always do. Rudder points the nose down the runway, just like it does on takeoff. That's it, keep that nose up. So that speed's going to build, build, build. Remember, the airspeed tells us about it after it's happened.
Coming up. Pitching for 80. Heartbeat coming on. Throttle 1500. Coming up.
Towers 05 Bravo, left base, 24 right. So get those flaps coming. We want 20 degrees on the base, and we want 75 miles an hour.
Wind 190 at 7, 24 right, clear for the option.
Clear the option, 24 right, 05 Bravo.
Good. I'm high.
Start that
Too late
turn.
getting the flaps in. Left turn now. That's ugly.
Bring that throttle back. We don't need it. We're going 90 miles an hour. We're supposed to be going 70 miles an hour. Which pitch controls. If we actually pitch the nose up and slow down, you won't need any throttle because you'll find that we got oodles of altitude. That's why speed's the most important thing. If we have the incorrect speed, we're deceiving ourselves into thinking we're too low or too high. Looking good, we're right on that center line. Working in some right rudder and some of that left aileron as we come down. That's it. Push that right pedal, push that right pedal, push that right pedal. That's it. Hold what you got as you finish it out. Good, good, good. Hold what you got. Here we go.
That came out a lot smoother than what I thought it was going to do. That's a blind squirrel finding a nut right there. I was literally groping for every... That was all reaction.
Well, it worked out. Worked out.
Well, I wish we had a camera on the dash so you could see the surprise on my face. Because I was shocked. I was doing so many wrong things on that approach that I just...
Well, but it's a good example of what happens next. That, you know, it doesn't matter what just happened. We can always fix things and get ourselves back to where we need to be. So we can make a bunch of problems in the pattern. We can have a bunch of problems in the pattern, and we can still salvage a good landing out of it. We're more likely to have a good landing if we do the right things in the pattern, but one boo-boo or two boo-boos early doesn't mean we have to anticipate problems as we touch down. Now your airspeed control today sucks.
Yeah.
I'll be blunt about that. Like we're all over the freaking place on airspeed. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. It might be that you're not looking out here enough. I don't know. I don't think you're death gripping the yoke or anything like that, but
I think I'm looking at the airspeed indicator too much and I'm chasing it.
That sounds about right. So stop doing that. Otherwise, I'll get some duct tape and I'll make that a real easy equation for you. Because I'll tell you right now, Mark Hansen can fly this airplane all day long without looking at the airspeed indicator, and so can you. Attitude flying. That's what we're doing. Attitude flying. Birdie up there. I don't think he's going to try to kill us. We'll keep an eye on him. Was that you I was flying with the other day where there's a ton of birds in the pattern, or is that somebody else?
Go ahead and pull in our first notch here.
Well, we don't want to get out of order now, so carburetor, heat, throttle, then flaps. Now you're welcome to do that other stuff, but let's do it in the right order.
Car beat now. 15. And I'm going to grab my first notch before I do turn into base.
Okay.
I like that order a little bit better. That way I can slow down a little bit.
And we can get away with it in this airplane, but there's plenty of airplanes where you can't. You'd be above your flap speed. So control that nose. Don't let it dive down excessively here. That's what we've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't let that speed build up, then we're going to preserve some altitude, and we're going to be able to more accurately say, oh, look at me, I'm too high, or whatever the case might be. Tower 05 Bravo, left base, 24 right. You're also going to make it easier to make that turn on to final because our speed is slower.
Wind 180 at 4, runway 24 right, clear for the option.
Clear for the option, 24 right, 05 Bravo. So we do start to get into that snowball effect. If we make one little mistake, it tends to make other things harder. So here we go, anticipating that turn on to final now. And I'll bet we can bring that throttle to idle. Yep, let's close that throttle because we got it. Remember, we're gliding a hell of a lot better with 20 degrees of flap versus 30. And the nose isn't down quite as much. Well, good. Working down into that flare, we'll start to use that right rudder and left aileron. Pushing that pedal. That's it. Twist that yoke and push that pedal. That's it. Keep doing what you're doing. That's it. Keep that yoke back. Don't throw those ailerons down like that. Keep what you got. You got to hold what you got. That crosswind didn't disappear. It's still there, pushing us. So we got to keep that left aileron in there as we are rolling. Even as we start to take off, we're holding that left aileron. Here we go. And that airplane is going to hold that center line so much better by holding that left aileron as you push in that throttle. As we come off the ground, we got to keep that wing down so that we don't try to flip over. Pushing that right pedal, hold those left ailerons, and she stays right there.
Yeah, I like the other one better.
Well, that was pretty good. We had a little more turbulence on final on that one. Nothing we can do about that.
Yeah, the final was right, but I was a little too aggressive in the rotation. So we kind of ballooned a little bit. At least I think I did that. I don't think the crosswind got me.
Maybe a hair. I think it was pretty good. Couple of storms off to the southwest, but nothing in the immediate vicinity here.
And coming left. Move us back to the ballpark.
Well, we overturned a little bit, so remember, if you're using the heading indicator as an aid, that's fine. Don't rely on it as your primary means of keeping a square pattern.
Coming up.
Especially when you know you're going to be crabbing on the downwind or whatever.
Did it again. Be coming on. And let's go. Launch. And coming left.
Alright, another notch of flaps and power back to idle because we're a little fast, we're a little high. We can remedy those things right now. Small corrections early are better than big corrections late. We can manage that situation. 05 Bravo, left base 24 right.
05 Bravo, check wheels down, wind. Correction 1406, 24 right, clear for the option.
Clear for the option, 24 right, 05 Bravo.
Oh, that's a good gust. Really pushed us hard. I felt it.
Good.
Too high, too high.
Oh, we're good. Just keep that cross control coming. Left aileron, right rudder. Push that right pedal as we're coming down. That's it. That's it. Hold what you got. Don't take it out. Hold what you got. That was a beautiful touchdown. Hold what you got. Okay, here we go. Hold that left aileron in there. See how that sucker holds that center
Yep.
line? Now you started the flare at exactly the right height, and you didn't balloon up. And you put the right rudder in, and you kept some left aileron in there. That was all good. Just don't take it out once you put it in.
Yeah.
Because actually what you want to do is put in more and more and more. As the airplane slows down, you need more aileron to do the same work. So
Same work because you're slowing down and no
Exactly.
longer getting the airflow.
So literally it's the opposite of taking it out. You technically want to put more and more and more in. Now if you don't actually get that done, okay, I can live with that, but don't take out what you put in.
Don't give it back.
Especially if what you're doing is a touch and go. Because you're going to want it as you lift off.
Alright, coming left. Coming left. Coming down. Coming back. For 80.
We're not pitching for 80 yet. We're holding 2200 RPM, and we could care less what the speed is. When we get to beam those touchdown zone markers, carb heat 1500, notch of flaps as we slow to 80. So there's our touchdown zone markers.
No, good. Carb beat coming
Now we're
in.
doing that stuff. Now we're pitching for 80.
300.
Whatever speed is on downwind is whatever speed's on downwind. We don't care. As long as we're holding 1,000 feet, that's the only thing we're interested in, as long and keeping the same distance from the runway.
Coming left.
Tower 05 Bravo, left base, 24 right.
05 Bravo, check wheels downwind, 150 at 8, 24 right, clear for the option.
Clear for the option, 24 right, 05 Bravo. So we turned a little early. We're going to have to get that notch of flaps in. We're going to keep that nose up so our speed doesn't build. And we're going to manage that throttle by looking at that runway. So let's bring that throttle to idle, and we'll start that turn on to final.
You got a man in your pocket that's telling you how the wind's going to blow you over that? That's so unfair.
Yep.
That is so unfair. Where that runway is made. Alright.
Good. Keep working that crosswind. Right pedal as we're touching down. That's it. Hold that right pedal in there. Hold those ailerons in there. Oh, here we go.
Bird flying over the runway kind of made my butthole pucker.
Yeah, I was watching him too. Sure that button pops on the flat. There we go. Remember that when we get to the latter part of the downwind and we're bringing that throttle back and slowing the airplane down and all that stuff, what is really dictating when the airplane gets to the ground is time, right? The airplane's descending at a certain rate, and, you know, all things being equal, if we average it out, it's going to be about the same amount of time. So why is it that we, you know, we're pulling the throttle back to idle a little bit sooner than we normally would? In fact, most of the time today, we're pulling the throttle back on the base leg before we even turn final. It's not that the airplane is not descending as quickly, it's that we have that big push on the base leg, which means it takes less time for the airplane to cover that same distance, right? So that's what it's all about, because people sometimes get the wrong impression, oh, the airplane's not descending as much. No, it's descending just like it always is. The difference is it's moving faster because we have a tailwind on the base leg, which means it's less time to get to the runway, which means it's less time for the airplane to descend. So there you go.
Yeah.
So it's not a mystery of the ages, it's just the fact that we're getting pushed on that base leg, and I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. We got a direct 90-degree crosswind, so we're getting pushed like crazy on that base leg today. And it goes without saying, but that's also why we have to make that turn from base to final so much earlier than we normally would as well.
Touchdown point. Garby coming in. Total 1,500. First notch flips coming in. Pitching for 80. Come and lift.
Tires 05 Bravo, left base, 24 right.
05 Bravo, check wheels down, wind 120 at 1024 right, clear for the option.
Clear for the option, 24 right, 05 Bravo.
Second notch.
Manage that speed.
Now.
We're a little fast and you're making life harder on yourself because we're hauling ass. Boy, if we're indicating 90 on the airspeed, we're going along 100 over the ground right there.
Yeah.
With that wind. Add a little bit of power. That's it. A little bit of right pedal as we settle in.
Yeah.
There. Hold those corrections. that left aileron in there as we go.
That was definitely making lemonade right there.
We had a little more crosswind on that one.
Yeah.
Versus, well, I think we probably had the most crosswind on that one versus all the other ones we've done today.
Not to sound cocky, but these are feeling better now.
Good. Well, you know, other than the crosswind, you know, if we look at, you know, what you're doing as far as the flare, if these were just normal landings, your flare timing is fine. You know, all that stuff is working out really good. The crosswind is just adding a whole new dimension to it, obviously.
I still feel like I'm a little bit early and a little bit aggressive towards the bottom.
I might agree with you on that last one, but the 2 or 3 before that, no. They all looked good.
Coming up. Nose comes down, 2200. Touchdown. RB coming in. Little bit 1500. There's first notch. Coming left.
Alright, 05 Bravo, left base, 24 right, full stop.
05 Bravo, check wheels down, wind 130 at 9, 24 right, clear for the aperture.
Clear for the option, 24 right, 05 Bravo.
Get off the road, bird.
Yeah, bit of right pedal, a little bit of power. That's it. So we got to get that nose over here where it belongs. Okay. keep that yoke coming back, and we can just roll down to Charlie.
Yeah.
Towers 05 Bravo will be a full stop.
05 Bravo, roger. Continue taxiing straight ahead. Taxi to Parker via Charlie Bravo.
Charlie Bravo, ramp with you, 05 Bravo.
Didn't let that bird distract me.
Yeah, he was just a little guy.
Yeah.
He got out of the way.
What's the worst bird strike you ever had?
Well, I've been pretty fortunate in that I've never had a bird strike that's actually caused damage to the aircraft. So instead of worst, I'll tell you about the most entertaining bird strikes I've ever had. The most entertaining bird strike is hands down, no competition. It was a turkey buzzard, and I hit it with a Piper Chieftain, which is a 10-seat point engine.
Mm-hmm.
Hit it down in around Fort Myers, Florida on final approach. So I had the landing gear down, and it hit the left main gear, and in such a way that it got wedged in the left main gear, and it remained pretty well intact. So as the line guy was marshaling me in the park, he kept pointing at the airplane and laughing and pointing and marshaling, and it was because there was an intact turkey buzzard caught in the landing gear. And I had some coworkers with me. One of them was a mechanic, so he pulled the buzzard out and walked out past the ramp and threw him in the field, and then his friends that were flying around with him started circling him, and then they came down and ate him. So I guess there's no loyalty amongst turkey buzzards.
Yeah, well, I hit one in, we were going to Austin one day. I hit
get
one.
rid of your carpet is where
I hit one in my truck.
Oh, really? Was it on the, like standing on the road, or
was it coming off the road?
Oh, okay.
And I caught him on this side of the windshield.
Oh, wow. Did it crack anything?
Well, so when I hit him, I broke his wing and broke his leg and knocked him over on the side of the road. And so we're going to Austin, and I was like, well, I'm not going to leave it there to suffer. So I got out, pulled out my pocket knife, and, cut his throat.
Yeah.
But literally, when we came back from Austin, all of his buddies were gathered around him eating him.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's ruthless right there.
Yeah. Buzzards, they'll officially eat anything, I guess. And then I hit another, I don't remember for sure if it was a turkey buzzard, but it was a large bird with that same airplane actually on a spray mission. So we were spraying, we're down at 200 feet, flying pretty close to 200 miles an hour. And I hit it absolutely smack dab in the middle of the co-pilot windscreen. I mean, it couldn't have been any better. If there was a bullseye painted there, I would have got a 10 on the 10-point scale. And boy, at that speed with a bird with that much mass, and you hit it with an airplane is kind of like a drum. It's a hollow aluminum tube, so when you hit something like that, it sounds like a cannon going off. The guy that I was flying with, I guess the polite way to put it would be like not the sharpest tool in the shed, maybe, and just almost so calm and relaxed that it was like something's not quite right. So hit this bird, and his reaction was it was like nothing.
He just didn't even wake up.
I looked over at him like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, what?"
Well, what happened?
I was like, "Good Lord." So. Yeah.
What have you been doing? Flying through flamingos your whole life or something?
Yeah. You can just put it right here on the yellow line facing that way. It'll be fine. All right. Yes, sir. That'll work.